Jesucristo se ha perdido, la madre lo anda buscando. ¿Quién lo ha visto por aquí? Una estrella relumbrando. Yo, señora, yo lo vi, por aquí anda pasando. San Juanito y Magdalena de la mano lo llevaban. Caminaron, caminaron, hasta llegar al Calvario. Con desprecio lo llegaron.
There is a legend whispered by the fars of the old towns, the story of the Nahuales. Thus we will walk between human and beast. It is said that every person is born with a spirit twin, an animal that reflects their soul. Some never meet theirs, others, the close few, can become one with it. When the night is dark and the wind is heavy, they shake their human skin and take another form. These stories tell of men turning into jaguars, women running as coyotes under the moonlight, eyes burning like amber. They move silently, hunting not for blood but for balance, punishing greed, protecting what humans forget to honor. But there is danger in power. Some Nahuales feel to envy, transforming not for balance but for domination. Village whispered of beasts with human eyes, talking cattle, stealing souls, leaving claw marks on walls. Yet, even those who fear them know is this truth. The Nahual is not a monster. Is the reflection of our weak self, that side that remembers we were once part of the earth, not its master. When you walk alone at night and the air grows still, listen. You might hear footsteps that sound a little too heavy, and burden that isn't yours. Deep in the forest of Veracruz, where the trees breathe secrets and the rivers speak in riddles, live the Chaneques, tiny guardians of the earth. They are said to be as old as the wind, as quick as shadows, and as mischievous as children. Travelers tell stories of losing their path under a sun that suddenly disappears behind clouds, of hearing giggles behind the trees and turning around to feed nothing, of feeling fingers tug at their clothes or stones thrown bravely at their backs. The Chaneques protect nature. They punish those who little, who could treat without asking permission, or who mock the spirits of the land. Some say that if you step into their domain without respect, they steal your soul, not forever, but just long enough for you to forget who you are and where you're going. And when you finally find your way back, the forest is never the same. Elders still leave small offerings, fruit, corn, or drops of water before entering deep woods, not because they believe, but because they remember.
This history that I'm going to tell you happened to my grandfather a few years ago. My boy, my grandpa used to say, "Sit here a minute, I tell you something that doesn't come on TV." She said that when he was young, many years ago, he lived in a small town near Tulancingo, Hidalgo. Back then, there were no street lights, only darkness, the sound of dogs barking and wind moving through the trees. Near his house, there was an old dirt road people to Hans. My grandpa
We interrupt this program.
said
This is a
that
national
at
emergency.
night people
Important
can
instructions will follow.
hear a woman lowing and strange whistling and wind. Some said it was witch and others said it was just her. One night, my grandpa and two friends were walking home from a dance. They were singing and laughing when they saw a red light moving between the trees. They thought maybe someone was camping, but then the light began to move up and down. That's when they say her. It woman was with long messy black hair, and her feet didn't touch the ground. She was floating the three of them ran, but my grandpa fell when he looked up to the woman was right in front of him. She had red, shining eyes and smiled with crooked mouth. She didn't speak. She just floating and disappeared into fog. After that night, the dogs barked every time they smelled something strange. And my grandfather never walked that road alone again. Every time he told the story, he ended the same way. Witches are real, my boy. You don't see them unless they want to you too. But when they look at you, they never forget you.
The witch or the Tahuelpuchi of the valley. This history was led by my father, and I come to tell him because it was a series of events that happened before and after the seventh. Speaking of my father, we lived with my mother in what, at that time, was a very dangerous area of Seville. When near the house, there was a large stream that crossed the area dividing it into two. My grandmother says the witches of Tahuelpuchi were seen their dark varieties. These are witches or ladies who just form in the animal. They traditionally take the forms of owls. Continuing history, in those times, it was very common to call the trees outside, as ladybirds, swans, hawks, and us. We are according to these days, lurking during the night, looking for mothers with unbaptized children. And at that time, it was her turn. My grandfather, Porfirio Lopez, and he rests in peace. During the early mornings, we heard him fight with what he said they were witches. They were nice when my grandfather woke up and was sleep next to the window.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
I just saw the nurses outside the window.
Mana kau? Hah?
Distracted and talking. They were not silent. The window
Mati dulu.
was beautiful to protect from fear. When it came, we were sitting
Astagfirullahaladzim.
He took up the grapple. After a very brief he began to Great someone came for because of the fly here is loyal for many years. No matter how much got, he got away from the current closet. Tired of him. If he got to my grandfather's house, he began to know
Mira, una bruja, mira.
Adiós,
No, pero yo lo que quiero saber es que ella
mi
se
jefa.
queda aquí.
¿Y cómo te se cayó? Dígame.
Oh, mira qué bien. Miren, eso es para que usted vea que con Jehová nadie se
¿Cómo te se cayó? Volando estaba, ¿no verdad?
Sí, y el vuelo.
After a few minutes, telling him this story, my dad turned to the kitchen door, where he managed to see a vein from
Sí la vieron, sí la vieron, sí la vieron, sí la vieron.
my mother, with my sister and his son,
Pinche madre, güey.
pointing at the girl. My father, without scaring my mother,
No la estamos molestando, vimos que se cayó y queríamos venir a auxiliarla.
go to sleep as quickly as possible, and so it was.
Uy.
When she got to the room, everyone went to bed. My mother
Una
could see
persona.
her
Realmente
as
por
a
eso
kid,
estamos aquí, porque pensamos
but
que era una
my dad
persona.
only batted her. When she
Aguanta,
tried
güey.
the window, they began to touch, even
Algo
it
está
was
tocando,
close to
güey,
the
con las
glass. My mother began to get scared because it was already
Vean,
very
vean, vean,
night,
vean esto, vean esto, vean
for
esto.
someone to touch the window. My younger sister began to cry as if someone had hurt her. My mother began to pray because they began to hear murmurs that they could not understand. When my mother prayed and my father ordered him to leave, they said that between prayers, my sister wept and my dad ordered that the sun stopped ringing from one moment to the next. My mother was able to reassure my sister and they could make tears less,
إله إلا الله.
but they really
أعوذ
were
بكلمات الله التامات.
fighting. From that day, the house
ما أدري.
was battered and was dark.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
To the
والله
windows and
لا
fires to alive because they feared that after the butcher
قل
were done for one of us once again.